Welcome to Biscuit 10 RPG, everybody. Apologies for the delayed start. We had some technical difficulties on my side, and as you can see with my camera, quite possibly still having them. I'm not going to worry about that fix right now. That'll be a later thing. But without further ado, we're going to get started with tonight's episode by beginning with a recap of what happened last month, and to go ahead and throw out that we should start be hitting the point where we're going to be doing an event, specifically scheduled streams every other Friday from this Friday forward, unless we have some sort of weird hiccup and hitch, but we'll announce that prior to the day. So I've already got it. If you're in the Discord, you'll know what's up. We have it set as a Storytellers Forge event. So if you want a reminder, that's a good thing. Or you can just check us out here. Alrighty. Without further ado, Red to Black Session 2. The party found themselves besieged by a horde of undead attempting to attack the junction, and being the heroes they are, they could not stand idly by as it happened. Quella summoned a quick spell to block off the horde as she cast another to contact a couple of unknown entities. She was directed to open the vault to the party so they might assist in protecting this building. The undead were taken out in short order, but not before getting in a few licks themselves and the Nixian guard coming in to mow down the last few standing. Introductions were brief and cut unfortunately short as the screech of reality being torn asunder ripped through the air and the junction was once again under attack. Only this time by abominations that should not be and from an unknown origin. The combat began once again as the monsters began eating the house itself, and only through the combined efforts of both the party and the Nixian guard were they able to rout the enemy and save the structure itself. With the battle ended, everyone took stock of what was happening, and introductions might have happened again if not for the sky beginning to shower down thousands of souls, wreathed in red, into the sunless crossing below. And that is where we pick up. Just for the gravitas of what this all looked like, I'm going to go ahead and repeat what was said last time. It was a deafening crash of thunder that rolled across the sky above you, and the massive vortex in the sky grew dark. Streaks of blue lightning flashed through the black and purple clouds, piercing another roll of thunder, or preceding another roll of thunder. As the clouds open up and thousands upon thousands of bodies wreathed in scarlet flames rain down on the sunless crossing. And as Johann stated to you all, well, that's not supposed to happen. As this begins happening, not Nixia, Ashlyn and Valen turn to look at you as if they were going to say something, and then see this and immediately fly off. It seems they have something to deal with. The Nixian guards stay around, a few of them, to make sure that everything's been cleaned up, but mostly you are left on your own with your newly acquired gifts, the Nixian blades that were bestowed to you, and Johann standing there with his jaw barely above the floor. Not that that's very difficult, as he is a walking skeleton. So, Johann looks at all of you and says, "Well, if we're all done here, maybe we should get into the city proper, get you introduced while this all calms down."
The bodies at the floor. Sure.
Is
Well,
there anything useful we could be doing here first?
no, Quella's
No.
got this well under hand, and Quella? She goes, "No, it's fine. Now that those things have been taken care of, the Nixian guard that's standing outside should be able to help and take care of this."
Okay.
It's not like we have thousands of mattresses to cushion their fall.
They're dead. What do they care?
But how does a city in the purgatory work? I thought the entire point is people supposed to move on from here, not stay here. Why is there a
That's
city?
Oh, some people do end up making a living here. This There's a lot of lore to discover about why this place exists. Long time before me, but hasten it to say that some people wait in line here in order to be resurrected via their own gods or making barters here and there. Some people wish to make peace before moving on to their ultimate afterlife, and others don't really make a choice and they just kind of hang out. I'm one of those people.
And in my experience, mortals are frustratingly stubborn.
You're just hanging out, Johann?
Well, I don't really exactly have a place to go. Nobody wanted me, and I kind of made a bad deal in life, so I just decided to hang out, become a shepherd.
Okay, so did you choose to be a skeleton, or would you just become that over time?
Oh no, that was part of the bad bargain I made.
Soldier skin?
When nobody wanted you, so you got rid of your body. Doesn't sound like a
No,
good trade.
no, that happened when I was alive. You see, side effects of being tied to someone that's seeking immortality.
Ah,
That'll do it.
those bastards. Gotcha. I really like teaching the people that are trying to reach immortality the meaning of mortality. Often at the um, with the edge of my axe or my claws.
Goodness, you're violent. Anyway, we should probably be off. How about I lead you into the city? I know a shortcut. As
There, what do you expect?
as Johann is talking, everyone make a. Well, I know that Augustine's going to see it. I'm not even going to ask. Your passive perception is ridiculous. So, everybody else, anybody that has a passive perception of greater than 15, who? All right, Rosina, Riva. All right. So, Riva, Augustine, and Rosina, as this conversation's going back and forth, you're kind of just meandering, like standing there listening, but kind of just looking around. You all notice a leather-bound journal on the ground. Seems to have been dropped.
Did it end up on your floor in real life?
Yeah, it did.
You
It
know,
actually
I
on the.
think
Oh no, go ahead.
I think that my time back home taught me that the random items that seems tempting on the floor is probably cursed in some way.
I immediately pick it up and start
So
thumbing
I
through
am
it.
not touching that.
I agree, it's probably
Even
cursed.
out.
Mid-sentence, Augustine's talking about the pros and cons of picking up random items. Rosina, in agreement, says, "Yeah, it's probably a bad idea." Riva immediately reaches out and picks up the book and begins thumbing through it. You actually see what appears to be journal entries. And while you kind of thumb through it a little bit, you see images of just random things. You see images of Valen, like hand drawn, along with journal entries and stories. Uh, Different various races, even some abominations show up here and there. And yeah, you look at the front of it, and it's got a picture of a wisteria tree, kind of embroidered into it. And as you look inside, you see that uh, the it is Ashlin's journal. She seems to have dropped it in the battle.
Ooh, look, it's the picture of that one guy. Look in here. It's
Is there a
drawings of
heart next to
things.
it?
Is there a heart next to it?
No, nothing so blatant.
No,
But it
disappointing.
does show like candid pictures of just him kind of like as if you were like a candid photo of a scene where people are just playing and looking around. Like that's the type of drawings that are in here.
Like still life drawings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, Roman, do you have
I do
Ashley's
not have Ashland's
memoir?
journal. No.
Okay. I will see if I can get a copy of it so that you can have an in-character treat of what's in it because it does have some journal entries and stuff like that. So I'll get that to you after this game. So Johan goes, "Oh my. Ah, I mean, don't lose things. Won't be lost." Anyway, if you guys are ready, I can take you into the city. I can get you introduced, get you settled in, get you acclimated to life here, and then you decide what you want to do.
Icarus just says life with a raised eyebrow.
Oh, yeah, tongue in cheek. Although I don't really have one, you see.
Tongue or cheek?
Well, I mean,
Am I gonna have a pun rivalry with a skeleton?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes, it's a
yes,
living.
I am.
Rosina will just
Afterlife.
say, it's not like I've got anything else going on.
My
Oh.
options are a city with
Oh,
people and
goodness.
things to do and endless wheat fields. I'll take the city.
All right,
Before
hang on. I have a oopsie that just happened. Let me. Oh my God! Stop it! I'm gonna kick this. We go. Ugh. All right, sorry about that, everybody. Technical difficulties that I'll have to fix next time. My apologies, Quill. Looks like that's out of commission for this game. All right.
Okay.
Sorry. Please repeat what you're saying as I totally interrupted myself and everyone talking.
Now Icarus was just being sarcastic. Go to a city with people and things to do, or wander around the endless wheat fields for 20 years. I'm gonna go to the city.
You know
Yeah.
that's not actually what this option is, right? I've been here for how long has she been here for, as far as she can tell?
Roughly 20 years.
Yeah, we've been mentioning about 20 years since you've been
Yeah,
dead.
so Johan literally heard that and just looked at you with like a uh.
Johan, stop. I lived a very good life here for 20 years. And I would probably prefer to stay in it, but I know that Johan will not let me. So, Mittens is coming too, so.
You hear from inside. Johan's not the only one that thinks you could do better in other places.
Before we leave this lovely place of hospitality, is there any chance we could have? Is there a healer perhaps here? Before we go traipsing off to the place that's dropping bodies.
I can heal you a little. Let me find my spell sheet.
So the one
Let's
thing that
see.
while you're doing that, the one thing you did notice is the souls that are raining down, they are all raining down into the fields. None of them are hitting the city proper.
Okay. Ew.
You get 6, 7. Who is 15 plus 4, I think.
19?
19.
All right.
Yeah, that's right. 19 HP.
Thank
Is that
you.
good, or do you want more?
No,
I can
that'll
do
do me.
another.
Thank you.
All right. Mark it off.
Did I get a little bit of that?
Oh
I'm
my
at
god.
16.
I don't even know you.
Memories of
Okay.
last games when we all went, cleric, what the hell is a cleric?
That's 8 and 3. 1. You get less 16.
That works for me.
All my third levels.
At least I can take a punch now and not fall unconscious. Although
Yeah.
that would make for a great story of someone punching a bear unconscious.
Johan looks at you and just holds up a fist.
I like this
Yeah,
guy.
right. I would shatter your bones like glass.
I've punched plenty of bears unconscious. It's not that hard.
And I've
You would
at
not?
least one elephant.
The elephant was also not that hard to hit.
That's fair.
Icarus is now looking a little nervous as this conversation goes on. He wasn't scared of the skeleton, but he's scared of these other people now.
Just casual ferality from the previous campaign.
The animosity level has grown, and I'm here for it. All right. Well, let me see here. All right. All right. So, as you all kind of, you take stock and you do your little healing, you have this conversation. You begin walking off towards the city. And as you do, you kind of take in the majesty of everything. Where the horizon was once just the line where the endless stalks of gold and gray disappeared, now a mesa rises from it toward the vortex above. It's a squat thing, like a mouth of a well into which the sky is pouring its essence. It feels both far away and looming, and while your mind struggles to make out a black skyline imprinted against the roiling purple clouds, your eyes can make out onyx spires and gold domes shimmering under the light of the vortex. Waterfalls pour down the edge of the mesa, and even at this distance you feel the thunder of water rumbling in your bones, a steady thrum so familiar you think it belongs to a song you knew from birth. So yeah, it feels like you've known about this place your entire existence, but you never really knew until right now.
I mean, Rosina might recognize it from the last time she was dead.
Do I recognize it?
You do not.
Damn it.
If I saw it, I don't remember.
Well, I mean, I don't know if your soul ever actually left or it just got teleported somewhere else. God, that
Oh,
was a
no,
weird
either.
day.
The weirdest day.
Made us cry. And then panic.
Seems like you
And then
all
some.
have some interesting stories. Please go on. As Johan's just walking up front, just like he started to kind of slow down and just kind of listen.
Well,
The-
she died protecting us, and we were about to bury her, so we were keeping an eye out. And then we looked away for like 30 seconds, and her body was just gone. So you panic, and then we went to the inn, and Rosita just walks down from the second story and is like, "Hi guys," and Grim Eyes burst out crying, and I think he actually ran out of the inn. Either that or he tackled Rosina. I can't remember.
Yeah, Grim Eyes. Yeah.
You're not still holding a grudge, right?
Hmm.
A grudge. Why would I hold a grudge?
I mean, the pond of memories or whatever. You thought he just left you to die, but
I was being sarcastic. Yes, he did leave me to die.
oh, he didn't. If anything, he was good. Yeah, anyway, why am I defending Grim Eyes? He set so many things on fire.
Friendships are tricky things, let me tell you.
Yes,
Fire
especially
isn't.
when he sets the friendship on fire multiple times.
Like literally or figuratively or both.
Somehow both at the
Okay.
same time.
All right.
So was it
There was
was it a regular friendship or did it get hot and heavy?
Jail.
there was
No.
Whatever
there was
passes
quite
for
a
jail
long,
here.
there was quite a long period where it didn't seem like he was with us, or he was replaced by someone we didn't really know.
Oh yeah, that memory curse thing.
Yeah.
Then
So that happened to you all too? It's very interesting.
yep,
Did you also
went
have a
to the
memory
library.
Yes. Well, it wasn't. I'm not quite sure. When I
curse?
died, everyone around me forgot who I was.
Was that curses or
Oh.
just us having terrible life choices in a city full of warlocks?
Arguably, it's both. You
Hmm.
know, one is from the other. I died. I made the deal. Cursed. That's the end.
Oh.
But I mean, we dealt with. We didn't really deal with it. You all just died as well, and or made deals. So, but it worked out in the end. I think
Mostly.
mostly. I never got to talk to my family again, but you know, no
Hmm.
biggie.
Yeah. No, nothing ever happened between me and Grim Eyes, but Invars did get cursed with greed. And I thought he was flirting with me, and that led to a very awkward couple of hours.
It did seem like he was flirting with you.
Bars, you say? No, couldn't be.
Looking around here, possibly could be. Weird shit seems to happen here a lot.
I mean, the Invars you knew couldn't possibly be the same one that I know of.
Did he run around yelling about how he wanted to end the world?
No, not so much, but how do I put this? His followers could tell you more, but they're all about change, destruction, and rebirth.
That sounds kind of like him.
Wow, who'd have thought you were walking around with a living legend?
Are you telling me that while I went off and died in the middle of the forest, like the gay adventurer I was, gay dramatic adventurer I was, Invars was off becoming a god? I
Yes,
demand a refund.
you didn't pay.
At the risk of sounding insensitive, where else is a bear gonna die but the woods?
Augustine laughs very quietly and kind of like,
Absolute silence fills the air around you, and all you can hear off in the distance is the water falling. And the thunderous crash to whatever's below. As
Somewhere
that
there's just that avatar cough from somebody.
Does anyone have a piece of paper? I think we need to keep score. I think this is gonna be a running thing.
Hey, if
No, I
Grim Eyes
didn't.
was here, he'd probably tell you that was a sick burn. You know, fire and all that.
Wow, that's quick.
Gods damn it.
Oh, the only reason we kept him around was because the fire was accidental.
Was it accidental when he killed you or left you for dead? What was it?
Yeah, left me for dead. Maybe it was accidental. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, it was accidental. I mean, he was a squishy warlock, and you were a very strong warrior. He didn't have a lot to offer at that point.
Oh, we also had a squishy in our group.
But not me. I'm strong like a bear.
Ah, I get it. So,
do you
You've
mean
been-
me?
I
as
just
the
don't think bears are that
squishy
strong, so I
one?
don't know why you're comparing yourself to them. Like, if you wanted to be like, oh, I'm
Obviously,
so
I'm the best
strong,
thing around.
you'd be like, oh, I'm like a giant. I'm as strong as a giant. But you keep saying bears. It's not even the strongest animal.
Excuse you.
I think it's because
Just slowly
he is a
get
bear,
further back in the group.
sweetheart.
No, that couldn't be.
Zet knows that is
Excuse
a bear.
you. Bears are the pinnacle of both adorable and lovable, but also can kill you in like 30 seconds. What's
Is that what
better
you
than
think of
that?
yourself?
Augustine literally just points to the displacer beast purring next to her. You were saying?
I will accept a tie.
This group's feeling more and more like Fight Club the further we go into this.
Cricket.
I'm not
cricket.
against it, I'm just sort of here for it.
We don't talk about that part of it.
So as
You gotta
you
a little where you don't get people in.
as and I quote, thick burns continue, Johann eventually stops walking and just, we're here. Um, as and then he begins walking forward. As you all begin walking beneath what is called the Enduring Threshold, a massive archway hewn into the base of the mesa. You are surrounded by intricate carvings of faces in the stone. All have their eyes closed as if resting peacefully. At the top, a massive gargoyle looms with a wingspan so wide that it casts broad shadows from the flickers of lightning afar above. With a pause, Johann takes off his hat and gives a slight nod. That, my friends, is a statue of Pella, the longest serving arbiter in the history of the Sunless Crossing. Gargoyles' wings grow as they age, and for several thousand years, Pella used hers to shield many souls during those early days. Well before my time. He quips and looks over his clavicle towards you. Don't let the bones fool you. I'm not that old. This magnificent bag of bones standing before you is just a little cursed. This place is far older than most can possibly recount. Except maybe a few of the keepers. Crotchety bunch, them. And lucky for you, they happen to be your first stop. So,
Yay!
so Johann will lead you all through the streets of Noct Valar, toward a temple that is sitting in the shadow of an imposing monolith. It's made of black and white marbled stone, and rivers of sand can be seen flowing inside of it through large tracts of glass. He notes to you that with nothing but the storm raging in the sky, time is tracked here. This is where you each receive your first Crossway coin. He looks at you and goes, "This right here," as he walks you up to the line, and you get handed a coin. All of the coins are a little bit different. He goes, "Right now, they're very much in terms of how things go, they're relatively worthless, but it's better than nothing. A Crossway coin can be used to barter within the Sunless Crossing, and the closer you get to the front of the line, the more it's worth. You can get coins from all the different lines that are available here, depending on where you decide to go, and those can be bartered as well once you get closer up there. But these will tell you exactly how long it'll take. The keepers will actually be the ones that tell you how long you are destined to be here. Whether you choose to move on is completely up to you, but there's time frames that have to be, I don't know. It's beyond me. I just guide people here.
So we're gonna go to some old people, and they're gonna tell us how long we gotta sit here.
Well, once you get to the front of the line, of course. Right now, you're in the back. It's probably going to be at least a month before you get to the front.
And
But
that's
on the
assuming
plus
We
side,
got to
time here is
stand around for a
relative.
month.
do we have to stay in line the whole time? Or is this like
No!
a waiting chip?
It's a waiting chip.
Alright.
You'll know as you get closer. Anyway, um, He's like, I guess I'm going to go ahead and lead you toward the residential district so you can find a place to settle in. Maybe acquaint yourself with the quote unquote life of the city.
What happens if you miss your ETA when the coin's done? Like, do you
You
just go
walk up,
back to the line?
and you next is
Hmm.
all it is. But
Alright.
some people just grab them and never go back. They just use them as currency.
Okay. Alright.
As he leads you all to the residential districts, you pass by a rotunda. He goes, yeah, might as well show you this. This is the Gilded Hills. This is where you learn that. Well, I think this will be better for you. If you look, as you look over, he kind of gestures off. There is a massive blue dragon that is sitting atop a pile of gold, and he goes, as you know, gold and things is not much not much value here in the Sunless Crossing, as there's nothing really to barter for in that sense, and most things are provided free of charge, with the exception of some special things around. Most people part with their earthly possessions here. You can choose to or choose not to; it's completely up to you. But most people find it a lot easier to begin their path towards moving on by getting rid of that which held them in life. So, I will tell you that the most common thing for favors here is the Crossway coin, so those will be your biggest asset.
The only things I have are weapons, and I have a feeling I'm gonna still need those, so I'll keep a hold of them.
It's your choice.
I lived a
I
warrior's life, and I will live a warrior's afterlife. I don't know
I'll
how
be
the rest of
keeping all
that
of my
goes.
things. They are mine.
Same. But good to know where to come if we need stuff.
Not exactly how that works. You'd have to make a deal with that which sits on the pile.
Hmm.
Augustine is just going to take the her pot of gold and go and toss it on the pile. Not say anything, just toss it.
They a
Johann,
he or a she? The
who?
dragon.
Oh, the dragon? You can't tell.
You look like you're having fun.
It's it just looks at you, annoyed, and then sets its head back down.
Fair enough.
Either way, now let's go ahead and carry on. Johann begins walking you down to the residential district. He goes, "All right, so here you got your choice. All right, there's a few different places that you can pick from, and it's up to you where you choose to live. The tenements, um, the kind of a ramshackle place, nice, easy. Most people find it amenable. Nothing crazy fancy, but it is a place to stay.
It's a
There's
hostel.
also the Caliber Estates, but it's provides a concentrated housing that is neither cramped nor uncomfortable. It's held in it's run by an elven cleric of the Academian. Uh, both in life and death, he's been obsessed with developing a mathematical representation of reality. So that's if that's your bag of tea, go right ahead. There's also Utopia. However, that one is run by a devil, so you know you want to live there, you're gonna have to live by those rules. And then there's Valau. Um, it's run by a fae, so it just depends on where you want to go. And I'll give you some time to settle in, pick a place to go, learn about where you want to live, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'll check
Mhm.
back in,
What
make
if
sure
I
you
want
guys
to
are
just live
settling
in
in
a
correct.
cave?
I mean, you can live anywhere. There's some people that came in not too long ago living on some park benches.
Okay, theoretically, if
Yeah,
I were to go to one of these places, Which one would be most likely to have people who want to fight me? Does it make sense?
Recreationally.
She
just
Just-
enjoys
just for fun.
sparring.
I mean, that's going to be more of a different place. These are just places to live. But if you're
Yes,
looking
but
for a more
no.
diverse group, probably the tenements.
Okay, sure.
What was the name of the one run by a fae?
It is Valau or Valu.
The tenement is the elven cleric, right?
No, the tenements is
Or is that just the average
the tenements
place?
are basically the hostels.
The hostels.
yeah, the hostels. Caliber
Tenement.
States is the elven cleric.
So it's the tenements, which is easy, just basic living. Caliber, which is scientific, knowledge based.
And then it's
And then there's the devils or the fae.
the devils is the
Devils, which is the zealots place.
Utopia.
Mhm.
Yeah, Utopia. And then isn't Valau like carnival-esque kind of thing?
No.
It's he looks at you and goes, I mean, it's really something you have to see for yourself, but it is Valau is Valau's neighborhood.
Okay.
I can tell you that she was murdered in her prime by an adoring fan. She uses her array of magical abilities to maintain the neighborhood, but she is a fae and therefore fickle, so.
Hmm.
And you said there's rules with the devil. Is there
Oh.
anything what do you mean by that?
Oh, you have to make a deal with them of some sort. Most people end up having to pay the equivalent of 50,000 gold per month.
Ew.
So it's a gated community?
What's
Oh,
the
Very much.
Hellgated
I mean,
community.
it's
What
called
direct-
Utopia.
gold.
You can't really get much more obvious. These are where the zealots live, and
Yeah,
the filthy rich.
It's very interesting that it's capitalism is thriving in the afterlife apparently.
Where else would it go?
which
they
direction
were-
is Bilal?
Bilal is right down the street over here. I can walk you there on my way out.
Oh, go to the Valau.
Oh,
Me too.
I'm going for the tenements.
That's what I was thinking. Sword, do you have any preference on these?
as Rosina, as you walk in, he turns around and he goes, I don't know if this is really going to be a place for you. Are you into the performing arts?
No.
It's a theater camp.
She's very much into she likes the soirees and the entertainment sort of industry sort of things. And if you're not able to do that, it's probably not going to work with you.
So we have to work at these places or for these
Well, it depends.
individuals?
Well, I mean, Valau, she has no tolerance for pretenders, I'll tell you that. But the other ones
Yeah.
have varying prices. Some of them just ask, like Vinny at the tenements, all she usually asks is that maybe you help out around the house, maybe do some chores.
What about the elven cleric?
Probably got to be
Paladin?
smart pants to get in there.
You must, for him, you're going to have to provide some sort of proof of apprenticeship or study at one of the many places for scientific or religious study within the city. So you're probably going to have to go on a few journeys before you can get in there.
So if you want to go be a nerd, go to there. And then
It sounds like the tenements is probably the best place for me right now.
Fair enough.
maybe I should go to
Icarus
Lao.
is just I have performed in upscale theaters and downscale theaters. I have performed in alleys. I have performed in basements. I do not give a shit. Not even in the woods.
Beat me to it.
Icarus, you hear a voice in your head. It it sounds very familiar, but with a much more commanding power to it. And you hear, Icarus, if you wish to start your journey, talk to the Bone Man.
Talk to the Bone Man. Is that like a title, or is it that walking bag of bones over there?
Silence.
More cryptic prophecies.
Anyway,
God, I'm
I'm
sick
walking
to
over to
death of that.
Valau, so if anybody wants to follow me, now's the time.
I suppose I'll join. I am a performer.
All right. So who is gonna go to Valau? All right. Where is Issa going?
Tenements.
All right, and the same with Rosina.
I'm a little torn between the tenements or the Caliber Estates. I think Rosina would be interested in Caliber Estates, but it also sounds hard.
Learning is for
I
nerds.
definitely have to Brad or do I say fuck it?
So
Okay,
you
I'll go Caliber Estates.
okay? We'll get to you in a second then, since the tenements are closer. Issa, you walk up to the tenements, and standing outside is a very kind-eyed and soft-voiced halfling, a very grandmother type. She's older, and she's walking around handing out snacks to some of the children running around. And she looks up and she goes, "Oh, hi.
Hi.
New? I haven't seen your face around, and I usually recognize people."
Fairly new, yes. I was told you might have a space available.
Yeah, we've got plenty of spaces. All I ask is help around.
Happy
Um,
to help.
fantastic. Follow me. I'll show you to your room, and
Mhm.
I'll get you started with a household activity. Maybe you can help with dinners, help prepare some things.
All right.
Fantastic. She walks you into kind of this little room. You're expecting like a hostel thing where there's like multiple beds, but it's its own little, like, very small but spacious, a little like kind of studio,
Okay.
kind of enough to have a desk and a bed similar to what you would find in an inn. It's not particularly lavish, but it's got all the necessities you need. And she tells you,
Cool.
just get yourself settled in, and when you're ready, just come on down, and you can help me with carrots.
All right.
All right. Caliber Estates is on the other end, so we'll get to you in a moment. We're gonna start with Valau then. As you approach Caliber Estates, or not Caliber, Valau, Johan just looks at you and goes, "Well, you're on your own here. This is not my. I don't like this place. I'm out of here. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'll meet you in the central square over there, just to
One quick
check in." Of
question before you go.
course.
Is there someone around here called the Bone Man? I have received an ominous prophecy, and
What are
The
you
bone,
talking about?
the only
Bone Man?
bone man hmm, he gives you a very weird look, and he goes, "Find me at find me at 12 bells."
Do you call yourself the Bone Man on the regular?
No, I don't call myself the Bone Man. Someone else did a long time ago.
when you say meet you at the 12 Bells, is that a place, a time?
It's
Where
a
am I
time.
meeting you?
We can meet over there.
Ooh, I can do
For
that.
you new, so that's gonna be roughly 6 hours from now. Get yourself settled in first. I'll meet you back here.
Are you wearing a watch? Wait, Right.
He looks at you and then looks back and he goes like, I mean, spectral, but yeah. I got it from a weird little
Me
kobold.
more and more. Oh no.
Oh no.
Kobold.
Anyway,
Who do we know?
get yourself settled in, have a wonderful evening, and Johann just kind of skedaddles.
My ominous feeling just got more ominous. It's Kobold is probably not connected, but the mention of him makes me nervous.
Augustine wants to try heading deeper into this place, or to the entrance, rather.
Yeah, you're left right at the entrance. It's gated. Um, as you approach, the gates open, and you're all free to walk in. Um, as you walk in, you don't see much else around outside of a massive palace up front, and it leads you directly in there. Just thick trees along the line, the side of the road. And as you walk in, you see a fae in all of her beauty, standing, or rather sitting, in what appears to be a throne of sorts. And she goes, "Ah, new entertainment. I assume you're looking for a place to live. You're new to the neighborhood."
Icarus steps forward and takes a deep bow and goes, "Ah, greetings, fair lady. Indeed, we are looking for accommodations. We have just arrived to this fair city, and we heard tales of your hospitality."
Why are you talking different?
Are you having a stroke? I would like to make it clear I barely know this man. However, I have heard that you take great pleasure in unique performances, and I believe I can offer that if I'm able to stay here.
Icarus
You'll
glares at you both from the sides of his eyes.
the absolute toss under the bus. Um,
Also,
hey,
real quick,
yeah,
DM, can I gauge what kind of fae she is? Because
yes.
Augustine has history with fae, interacting with
Hmm.
fae. What should I
Hey,
roll for that?
It'll be an Arcana check.
can I do that as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Kana, which I have a +7 in. That's a 19.
Okay.
It's a 24.
I don't even know
Okay,
why
I
I
got a
asked.
7.
All right, fantastic. So, uh, Riva is just like, okay. You two, however, realize that she was at one point part of the summer court of Fae, and she was of nobility from the way she comports herself. She goes, "Anyway, enough posturing. I require proof that you know what you're doing. Impress me. And while you decide what you're going to do for that, we're going to go ahead and head back over to Caliber Estates with Rosina, who's decided that she wants to be a nerd. So you walk up. It's a very angular structure. It seems very odd that a elf of all types would be living in something so basic. It looks like a modern day building of today. Um, just all angled, nothing fanciful, no filigree, nothing that would hint that this place is kind of run by an elf of any kind or anything with a fey heritage. As you walk in, there's a student wearing a lab coat that runs up and goes, "Oh, hello. You must be new here. Are you lost?"
No, I was told there are lodgings here, and I was hoping to find out more about that.
Oh, um, are you connected with the Academian or some other sort of scientific research?
I am not, although I have recently been learning some sorcery, and I thought that might be related.
Hmm. I mean, it's more of a science and the science of religion sort of place. If you're willing to take on an apprenticeship, I recommend going down to what's the word I'm looking for? Don't mind me. The road to eternity. And maybe talking with one of the clerics down there at the Academian's uh, like the house of worship. They're probably going to be the ones that would be able to get you started, understanding what it takes to be here and to earn a spot. Not that I
That
don't
sounds like
believe you have it in
something,
you, but
that sounds like something I can do. Thank you
fantastic.
for pointing me in the right direction.
Absolutely. More than happy to help. Anyone who wishes to learn and aspires to learn the scientific nature of everything is very much welcome here. So I can give you temporary pass for lodgings until you have begun your apprenticeship. Um, Assuming, of course, you can help around with various duties and assignments of the scientific nature.
What sorts of duties are there?
Well, right now you'd be running errands for gathering test tubes and chemicals and the like
I can
for
do that.
Father Ornivius.
All right. That sounds great.
Fantastic. I will take you over there. So he takes you into a room. You actually see this elven cleric. The room that he's in is oddly geometric shaped, as is the rest of the building. Inside, you see test tubes and holy symbols of a religion that you don't recognize. You've traveled far and wide, but science has never been something that was really, it was laughable for people that cast magic because they don't use it that way. But there has always been rumors that something like this existed. You walk in, he looks up and he's like, credentials, and then the apprentice goes, I am going to vouch for her on a temporary basis, um, so that she may acquire the proof of apprenticeship from one of our scientific or religious organizations within the city. She seems eager to learn. And he goes, hmm, very well. But she doesn't get the good rooms. She has to earn those. And he's like, of course, sir. And he ushers you out and he takes you to kind of this squat, empty room. Very basic bed with just a desk and books about mathematics are placed on the desk itself. Um, he goes, "This is going to be your learning material. I'll be back when we have something for you to do. But since you're new, might as well settle into place and make yourself at least at home for now."
Thank you.
Of
Appreciate
course.
it.
All right. So we go back to Valau. You have been challenged to prove that you have the talents that are worth her time. What are you going to do?
So Icarus will step forward first. He says, Fair lady, when I was, well, alive, I was a wanderer, and I came across many strange tales and songs. And so I would like to perform one of these tales that I have learned. Um, and then I'm actually gonna sing, and I'm just gonna do like a couple of verses. That's okay.
Sure. And then I'll have you roll a check afterwards. Go ahead.
Okay.
I start playing my drums. Actually, no, I don't have drums. Shit. No,
Um,
I should have brought those with me, I guess.
Are you going to do a support
Gather.
for this?
I was
Sorry.
gonna try to help, yeah. I just tapping my legs.
All right, cool. Perfect. Go ahead.
All right. Gather round, ye lads and lasses, sat ye for a while, and hearken to me mournful tale about the Emerald Isle. Let's all raise our glasses high for friends and family gone, and lift our voices in another Irish drinking song. A consumption took me mother, and me father got the pox. Me brother drank the whiskey till he wound up in a box. Me other brother in the trouble met with his demise. Me sister has forever closed her smiling Irish eyes. Now everybody's died, so until the tears are dried, we'll drink and drink and drink and drink, and then we'll drink some more. We'll dance and sing and fight until the early morning light. Then we'll throw up, pass out, wake up, and then go drinking once again. Ken was killed in Kilkenny, and Clare she died in Clare. Tip from Tipperary died out in the dairy, yeah. Shannon jumped into the river Shannon back in June. Ernie fell into the urn, and Tom is in the tomb. And then, yeah, like there's a lot more verses after that,
Sure.
but I'm
All
just
right.
gonna stop there.
So with the help of both that and Riva backing you up, both of you roll performance at advantage.
Performance is a 27 for me.
And that is a 23. Yeah,
Yeah.
23.
All right. Fantastic. She seems perplexed by what you were singing about, but it was a good enough performance that you've captured her attention. Quill, I'm gonna go ahead give you what's that? What's that thing I can give out? Inspiration.
Cool.
That thing I'm allowed to say you have one now. All right. You
Been
have an
so long
inspiration.
since you've given it.
I hardly ever give inspiration. You have to earn the hell out of that. All right. She goes, very well. You are welcome to assimilate into my world. Um, we'll get to how that works out here in a moment, but it seems your friend here did not participate. So, how are you going to impress me?
Oh, that was,
I
was
appreciate.
I was also gonna do something else, but go ahead. Sorry.
I'm just gonna warn
I
you, I'm not gonna
appreciate
be your
that.
dancing bear.
No, I have a wife to dance with, actually.
Okay, you two are good. Augustine, go ahead.
While I appreciate that, the show of teamwork was probably a bit charming, I've always been a soloist. But I'll sing you some things that I wrote about how I died. And I don't have it finished yet.
Sure.
So I cannot actually perform it, but Augustine has a operatic overview written of our Red Opera campaign. And it's
So,
an overview, so it's meant to give just enough details that, this was an interesting story, but you need to know more because it was just the barest details kind of thing.
so what I'm gonna say is you have single-handedly put together some pieces for the other people here, and I'm gonna go ahead and fill in some of those gaps now. So I'm gonna have you go ahead and roll. I mean, using your previous campaign is go ahead and roll with advantage. Performance check. And now I get to explain in short order a small overview of what happened for the folks that were not there.
Nat 20, 37.
Yeah, so you two had captured her attention, but you've never, like, even you two were like, what? And Reva's like, hey, I know this story. So you go over the events and how they transpired, leaving out little bits and pieces, obviously embellishing where it needs to be embellished, but not that there really needed to be a lot because what you did was crazy. There are a lot of parallels between Augustine, Issa, and Riva's story and Icarus and Rosina's. The only major differences that you can find is that they dealt with things a little bit differently. There was I'm going to go ahead and say it, there probably was in there about the failed attempt to save a cursed man who became a vampire thrall, and then how you made up for that later on. Which was different with Icarus and Rosina, who absolutely splattered. Um, uh, what the hell's her name?
I'll see. No.
Don't mind me looking up in the old book. Under a blood red moon.
While you're looking that up, I will say that there is also she definitely made sure fate was mentioned, because of course she did.
Half of it is about Faye and how beautiful, incredible she is, and
Half of it, but you do have to admit she quite literally, her death, you have to talk about fate for.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Red Opera, the Red Opera is going to get a reforged edition now that it is officially back as the intellectual property of Storytellers Forge. So keep an eye out for that. I don't know if it's actually going to be a Kickstarter or just a random thing that they do, but keep an eye out for that Red Opera Reforged.
That
gonna be
is probably going to be a year or so out, so it's going to be awesome. All right, Rizel. That's right.
that bit.
Yeah, so the story differs in context with Rizel. You two, with the rest of your party, had absolutely had a really tough fight, but you ended up beating the crap out of her. It seems that there was another party to the fight that you didn't have to deal with this other team. And it starts to make sense as to what happened. You're not from the same dimension, as it were. There's mention of meeting with Dorian, meeting with Lacroix, meeting with Fate, as well as Majin. The major difference is with you all, with Rosina and Icarus. Fate was very distant. She did her best mostly as a duty to the city and followed you all because it was a requirement. However, you notice in the song, as Augustine stated or Flynn stated, that there was a blossoming affection and, dare say it, love that formed. And then the ultimate climax of the story is that she made a deal that should fate fall, she would take her place. And that was the epic conclusion. No reference to how it was done, but a tragic ending to a beautiful tale.
So Rosina doesn't hear this, right? This is just above the table for me.
No, you hear it.
We're-
Oh, yeah. So,
We're at our respective places. I'm peeling a fuck ton of carrots for somebody.
yeah,
Right.
it's one of those things that's you're eventually probably going to hear from one of the other people. or you'll hear rumors around town, especially with a performance this big. Valau's going to tout this tale, and she's going to start telling it probably like she did it herself because she's a fae. But she will give credit where credit is due, and she looks in and she goes, "You are more than welcome to attend one of my soirees. We don't have rent per se, but you do have to keep up with a litigious schedule of fine dining and assimilating into the world with celebrities of all kinds. If you can keep up with the whirlwind of events, I'm more than happy to let you stay here." So you all have a place to live. As that happens, you see that the world around you changes, and there's these gorgeous, like beautiful, like decorated in combination of nature and gilded, just like tapestries of uh, like apartments, massive, large apartments, and some that aren't, but they are all beautiful. So you all get one of your own. You can decorate it however you want, and that you'll be contacted throughout the time that you're here to attend parties and everything along those lines to keep up your end of the deal, as it were. So after a while, I don't know, was anybody planning on doing anything after you acquired your spacious living? I mean, besides Icarus?
Uh, I guess not. I was planning on doing my own thing, but you know what? Drums are good. Uh, I guess I'm gonna go back to the. I'm gonna go back to the apartment of Sword, and this doesn't have to be a thing at roleplay, but probably can have a good long talk with her.
We can absolutely do that. We're gonna go ahead and give a little spotlight here to Riva and Sword. As you enter the room, she your sword pops out of your hilt and forms into a spirit version of herself. And she just looks at you and goes, "Why don't I have a name?"
I feel like we've talked about this a few times. It's I would be happy if you chose a name, or I feel like I shouldn't be the one to do it. It's not my place, you know. Uh, I think I don't want to choose a name that you don't like, and then you're stuck with that name forever.
As long as you love the name, I love the name.
Okay, well, that's hard to say. I'm not very good with names. I don't know if you know this. I get most people's names wrong. I I will think of a name for you, I guess.
I guess we
But
have eternity after all.
I suppose we do, or whenever the old people tell us when we can leave. But you know, uh, well, do we have eternity here?
I mean, we could spend forever together, but I don't know. If you're not going to name me, I kind of don't want to.
Oh my god, it's not what I'm talking about here. You saw what I saw.
What
I don't know.
specifically? I've seen a lot of
God,
things today.
you know, in the grove, in the water.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I have eternity here, darling.
You might.
I might.
You might.
You want to bet my life on might?
I mean, do you know how it works?
No, but uh, we should probably find out.
Well, maybe ask around, see if anyone knows what
I'm just
you've
not sure.
become.
I just don't know how many people are willing to talk about that sort of thing. Doesn't seem like people are very happy about it.
What do you
I wouldn't.
mean? No one seems upset. You seem normal. You seem
Yeah,
fine.
I seem normal, but I think when people start finding out what I am, they're gonna be like, "You're weird. I don't want to be near you." L- I'm gonna go find some people, but I think I want to try to find a way out of here. Not to the other side. Maybe we go back to life?
You want to be resurrected.
It sounds like it's back in the cards if Lacroix is back.
I mean, yeah, potentially, but I don't know. I think you should probably learn about yourself before you go trying to find a body, because it may not work the same.
I guess so. But
I mean, you remember, what was it? Mazabeth, right?
yeah.
You you do remember that she bore similar scars.
Mm-hmm. My fucking body.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying, it can't hurt to ask. The worst thing people can do is look at you funny and tell you to go away.
You know that's
But
not true. They could try to like kill me or kick me out.
but
Nazareth was clearly not a good person, and
did
she was
I
hanging around here for a while.
did I pick the wrong strong woman?
No, it's. Uh,
Are you weakening on me? Do I need to find somebody else? Maybe Issa needs a new friend.
how dare you? No, I'm fine. I'm not
That
weak. I just.
that that
It's gonna,
Rosina seems big.
darling, I know you're angry and you're saying things you don't want to say, but let's calm down. I'm fine. I'm gonna ask about it. I just wanted to say I'm sorry about everything recently. It seems like things kind of got out of hand really quickly.
I want a name. Until then, consider me silence.
Okay,
And
but like,
she turns
what?
back into a sword and goes back into your scabbard.
Come on, like, give me something. Like, letter to start with. I don't know. All right. Reva kind of just like slumps down in the corner and starts flipping through the book she got.
So I'll give you some information about that here post game. I will tell you this though. It is about Ashlyn's journey from when she first landed here in the Sunless Crossing up until a certain point. So there's a lot of information that you find out about her life and how she met Valen. So that's fun. Anybody else?
I was just going to say, whenever the appropriate opportunity is, Rosina will go to the Road to Eternity and look into this apprenticeship situation.
Okay. So you walk down to the Road of Eternity. It's always kind of bustling. There are large lines. And there are people that are waiting out front. And as you walk up, they simply look at you. One of the people in front of the building, depending on which one you go to, all of them, they ask if you have a Crossway coin.
I do.
Uh, and you show it to them, and they're like, no. That's to the keepers. Everyone
Mm,
has their own Crossway coin. Um, we have our own, they have their own, they have their own, and so you can have multiple, and they just go to different places. So here, you can have one for us, and I need you to make a perception check to see if you know what you're standing in front of.
is a 18, 25.
25. All right. Um, you look off to the side, and you're looking at the person who's talking to you, and you're like, something's familiar. And you look at the symbol, and it's a gold circle. Uh, and it's their holy symbol, and it's interesting. So let me find exactly what it is. There we are. trying to figure out the actual description of it. No, not really specific. It's a very stoic looking building. And it's got a simple but elegant circle carved into it. Um, and you're not really familiar with it, but it seems familiar. Like you know it, but you don't. It's like you somehow have a connection to it and you're not sure what it is. Um, so there's that. You have a coin for this line. And they looking and go, is there anything in particular you're looking for?
I am seeking an apprenticeship here.
Here specifically or with the academian? They're the ones that typically do apprenticeships, but you can definitely learn and apprentice here and gain knowledge that if you're, I assume you're new?
I am new. I was sent here because I went to the Calaver Estates.
Ah, yes. The ever searching for knowledge. We can absolutely give you knowledge that you can take back as long as you're a studious student, but if you're looking more for what they typically do, um, that would be the academian. And that is right over there.
So, wait a minute. But what if I was to apprentice with you? What do you do then?
We teach change and rebirth. We teach that there is always an ebb and flow to everything, and that sometimes you have to be there to tip the scales.
But that sounds way more interesting than math.
We follow the shepherd.
The shepherd.
One of many names, of course.
Well, maybe I should apprentice here instead. Will the Calaver Estates have a problem with that?
I don't see why they would. As long as you bring knowledge, that's all they care about.
Well, sign me up. I'm interested in learning more.
Right, fantastic. Well, you're not necessarily going to get in first to get any favors. If you come back tomorrow, I will send out someone to meet you to begin your apprenticeship here um, at uh, at our tower.
That sounds good. Thank you.
May the shepherd be with you, and the world serpent before him.
And also with you?
And he
Yeah,
he
okay.
goes back to greeting other people. So yeah, there you go. That's your intro into your apprenticeship. Anybody else?
I mean, I have that thing with
Okay,
Johan.
fantastic. So we got 12 bells. Um, so time passes a little bit. You wait diligently after giving your fantastic performance, and you go back to the spot, and there is Johann waiting under a tree next to a bench, and he comes up and he goes, "How did you know that name? Only one has called me that before, and he did so, and I think it was out of jest, but I'm never sure. He's very serious all the time, like impossibly so."
Would you believe me if I said a mysterious voice from somewhere else spoke it directly into my mind?
What did he say specifically?
Um, I believe it was look, and I'm going to mimic his voice in case that sparks anything for you. Icarus. If you wish to begin your journey, speak to the Bone Man.
All right. Well, he doesn't really do that ever, but he did tell me that at some point someone would come across asking this very thing, and I was to give this to such a person. And Johann reaches into his jacket and he pulls out this seemingly innocuous shard. He's holding it in a cloth. And he goes, I warn you, starting this path, there is no going back. You will be forever changed.
Life is change, and apparently so is death. Welcome to both my life and my afterlife.
Very well.
But I appreciate the warning. Thank you.
He hands you it wrapped up and just says, do with it what you will. I wish to know nothing. And he walks away.
Dang, I wish I had a witty comeback to that.
I am going to send you okay. Okay. Um we'll get back to you in a second. You may be the only one doing something over the night. Augustine, are you doing anything or are you just settling in?
I think Augustine is settling into her new space with Mittens,
Okay.
helping. Are you okay? Helping Mittens get acclimated, and then she's going to keep working on whatever song she's been working on most recently. And I mean, she has to earn her way through here, so she's damn well gonna earn it.
Okay. Riva.
Um, I think at some point, uh, do I know where Augustine is staying? Like
Yeah.
generally?
You know the general area where she's at.
All right, I'm gonna go find her and knock on her door.
Okay.
Augustine, it's Riva. Could I need a little help with something, maybe? Pretty
Augustine,
please?
like, hesitates. All right, yes, the door isn't locked. You can come in.
Okay, I walk in. Uh, she is like full, like arms crossed, like head like slumped. Uh, you're good with words, right?
Yes, I like to think so.
Yeah. So, like, theoretically, if you were to name like a sword, what do you think some good names would be?
Do you think she'll come out and talk to me? I want to hear the other sides of this and why you look that way. And I don't think you're going to tell me, so I want to hear from her.
I would be glad to tell you. I think you know, it's not.
What the, you look guilty. You look like the child who got their hand in the cookie jar and got caught.
She wants me to give her a name, but I don't know what to give her. I think it's. I don't know. It feels odd.
Why does it feel odd?
I don't know. I just. It's. I. It feels. I've been her wife for 20 years, and I give her a name. It just feels like it's not my place to do it.
I still can't believe you got married right after I died. Anyway. Uh hmm. You can think of it like you are giving her a nickname. Something that highlights your favorite traits about her.
She doesn't just want a
Maybe
nickname. She wants a name that
no, but
I
that can be
love.
like if it's a name that you love, then why are you asking me to pick it?
I need help. I'm not very good with names. I don't have any particular names. I'm like, oh, I love that name. It's just what someone is called.
Hmm. Let's go with something like Raven. Ravens are seen as a symbol of death, an omen. She does bring death wherever she goes. That's kind of why you love her.
Can't say I love it.
Conversely, omen, a warning of things to come when people see her. That is the only warning they get.
Hmm.
While you're in the middle of this conversation, Icarus, you walk by and see. You don't. You kind of hear like just like a very defeated, dejected Riva talking to Augustine, and the door was left open because no one closed it. So you happen to walk by and see this scene. You're not quite sure what they're talking about, but
Eh,
I mean, I adopted a Displacer Beast, well, created a Displacer Beast, and then named him Mittens. I'm not exactly the gold star for naming.
But you're like the person who's good with words. That's like, you know, I'm not
him.
the. Oh,
Hello.
hello.
I
everyone gets
didn't
real
mean to
quiet.
eavesdrop, but I am temporarily part of your party, and I want to make sure everything is going okay. Is it, you having, what is the phrase? Girl trouble?
Yeah.
Rita, I can tell him to leave if you want me to. This is my
No,
space.
no, it's fine. I guess the more uh suggestions, the better. I
I
need a
mean,
name.
I have traveled many lands. Uh, may I know who the name is for?
My beautiful, darling wife, and also my sword.
I am. You, you seem amused, but you are not the first warrior with a sentient weapon. And this is, I wouldn't say it's a common issue, but it does come up. Um, let me think. Sword, sharp edge. Well, you could always go for some warrior woman names. Skiath or Morrigan. Um, there's Atalanta. Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
Icarus, I assume that you're gesticulating as you're kind of going through this, right? You're a very emotive personality.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you for that. I need you to
Please tell
make
me I did
a
not throw the shard.
no. I need you to make a wisdom save as your finger brushes against it.
Oh, well, wisdom. I mean, proficiency in that, so that's an
Reina,
18.
that means queen.
Um, so as
Hmm.
as this is happening, you say, Reina, Icarus, your finger touches it, and a bolt of what feels like lightning shoots through your body as untold knowledge floods through you. And as you try to make it out, This divine fragment, you don't quite make it. You take 22 psychic damage and you fall to the floor incapacitated.
I am now at 10 HP. Again. What word was I in the middle of, by the way, when I did that?
You were like right in the middle of like like a little after Morgan. You're like you were mid sentence into you were mid word into the next name, and you just the leather that was around it kind of went down, and your finger just brushed against it, and you all saw like sudden stricken, and you felt power course through this individual before they just hit the ground.
Hmm.
Uh,
That's new. So anyway, Reina is
I do like Reina. That's not bad.
between Queen.
Yeah, no, I said not bad. I
What?
like it. I'm writing it down in my notes. I got the list going.
Is Mittens just going to be on top of me? Am I the new scratching post?
Oh no, Mittens doesn't like other people. Mittens won't touch other people. He don't like them.
Hmm.
You won't even let me have a cute cat on top of me while I'm unconscious.
He's a full-size displacer piece.
I
I'm a
mean,
full-size bear.
all right. So there's that. We're gonna go ahead and cut back to Issa. You helped prepare dinner and do cleaning of dishes and everything after the dinner was eaten. Benny, the kindly old grandmotherly type, thanks you very much and says, meet me down here tomorrow. We'll do some more simple things and then you're free to go. I appreciate your help and I hope you enjoy your stay for however long
Thanks
that
for the
is.
hospitality.
Absolutely. And you're free to do whatever you're going to do. Is anybody else going to be doing anything, or are we just going to have a conversation about the name of a sword?
Oh, I'm unconscious, so I don't think I can do anything.
Yeah.
And the only healer in the team is just ignoring me.
Okay, I will not be reduced to healer, first of all. And I prop his body up like sitting position. And that's about it.
There's
Oh,
also
thank
more
you.
than one healer. Augustine just didn't feel like actually using healing magic. She has plenty of healing spells
I'm
intentionally.
making dinner because I'm not up at the bougie house with y'all.
Savage. I was
Fantastic.
just gonna say, Rosina goes back to her new quarters and stares at the math books and sighs and cracks one open.
Fantastic. It is as boring and dry as you think it is. It is remedial math. You're like, I learned this, and then it like as you keep turning pages, it gets more and more complicated until it hits a point where you're like, I don't know what the term calculus means.
She's gonna close the book and then spend the evening polishing her battle axe.
Fantastic. A minute goes by, Icarus, and you wake back up.
Oregon. Oh,
What was with you? Why did you? What happened?
It was probably another stroke. He had one of those out in front of the Fey lady.
Are you prone to strokes?
okay. First of all, no. Second of all, with the Fey Lady, I grew up in a forest with the Spring Fae. I know how their hospitalities rules work. I am not going to accidentally sell myself into slavery because I was rude to the nice Fey Lady.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Says being
It's the
polite is
Fae.
as acting like you have a stick shoved up your rear end. I've dealt with the Fae plenty of times too. Just don't disrespect them. You don't have to be stiff about it.
I was a high-end performer. I have performed for kings and sultans, often at the edge of a sword. Anyway,
Well, I've been around. I'm pretty famous in the Shadelands. I'm not gonna you know hype myself up too much, but I made a name for myself.
The, the
yes,
pure,
but apparently not a name for your sword.
the pure,
I didn't
like
have my sword until I got to Yonkath.
the
and
unadulterated ego inside of this room.
I mean,
and
have you been in
and
a theater
sword
room?
was a plenty good enough name for me.
Right.
I listen. I don't know why you're getting in on it. All
Anyway,
right. I
I
don't
seem
know
to be
you.
have I have seemed to have did I like gain divine knowledge or did I just have a brush against the mind of a divine being?
You're not quite sure. You weren't able to make it out because you failed to save.
Right.
Right. So, bear person, as wonderful as it is
Hey,
to sit
person,
here and listen
did
to
you
you
already
try
forget my
to
name?
justify your fame to me, this is my room, my space, and I would like you to leave it now. Thank you.
Can you at least watch over me as I try this more purposely instead of accidentally in the middle of a place?
Going to try to purposely have a stroke.
Oh, I had a meeting with Johann and I received a mysterious artifact because of the ominous prophecy. So if you could keep me from at least falling on my face this time, I would appreciate it. And
This
John, I'm
time,
gonna
what? You
touch
touched
the shard
around and
again.
leaving my space. But
Not very good at
are
listening,
you
Bear Man.
holding this card?
Are you? What? Where is the shard currently?
So it's laying on the floor next to his hand.
Yep.
Oh, I would have for sure
Why
touched
is
it when
this
he was
happening?
out. Does it do
Augustine
anything
just
when I do
looks at
that?
Reba. Does he think that he's above someone's consent and boundaries?
I don't know. When he eventually knocks himself out again, I'll drag him out. It's not a big deal.
He's going to have a seizure and die on my floor, and I don't want to clean that up.
I don't know if he can die. We're already dead.
Well, I've studied the nature of the soul, and that is a fascinating question, but that answer will be for later. And I go ahead and touch the shard before we can continue any further with this idiocy.
Make another wisdom save as untold knowledge jets through you.
I'm gonna use my inspiration to re-roll roll that if that's okay.
Sure. Use that inspiration for whatever you want to.
I got a nat 20, so that is 26.
Fantastic. As the visions that knocked you out previously re enter your mind, you manage to take hold and slow them down. You see images of a long lost comrade out in a place that you've never seen before, in the ruins of what appears to be multiple dead deities, lost, forgotten, names that no longer exist in the tablet of life. Um, and in this, you walk behind this individual and you approach, and just as you're about to touch them, they turn around and you see a green dragonborn holding a spear. Um, steps just directly out of way and says, "Your path begins now." And you jet out of it with the knowledge required. And I will tell you in after tonight what you'll do. But the hold over you that the stranger in tatters has, you feel it loosen just ever so slightly. And the shard breaks into pieces and disintegrates.
How long is he standing there when this happens?
It takes less than a second, but you do see the power kick up again, but this time no ill side effects. You both prepare for an oncoming stroke or to just kick him out of the room when he falls unconscious. And he opens his eyes, and there's residual power. You're not quite sure where from, but yeah. And then it slowly dissipates.
Great. Now get your probably cursed stuff out of my room. Do.
Yeah, I full like stand up
But
to
I
my
can
7,
definitely
8.
say I'm better than you
without-
now because I have a literal shard of divinity in me now. Goodbye. Walks out.
Does he ever
He
stop
does
fucking
not know if
talking
that's
about
true, but
himself?
he thinks that's impressive enough to leave on.
Have fun having
Reva, can I
strokes.
kill him?
Nothing
Huh?
Can I
strokes.
just kill him? Can we
Oh,
try to kill him? I
we
thought
could,
that
but it
Unya
feels
got under
mean.
my skin. I thought that
Um,
Unya got under my skin, but I wish I had Unya instead now.
Yeah, no.
Icarus
Damn.
overhears and he just throws a rude gesture over his shoulder.
The door's already closed. I assume Mittens closed it out of habit.
It's. I
Oh, yeah.
mean, I could. It just feels like he's already so beat up. I'd like a single punch to the head. I think would kill him outright.
Can we at least try to find a way to like fix him in a permanent silencing spell because I can't hear him talk about himself more.
You know, it's not really my specialty, but I think we can probably figure something out.
Why would you touch something that gave you a seizure again? I mean, we had impulse control in our group, but I don't think it was that bad. Where it
Yeah,
was
I
like,
can do it once at
doesn't hurt
most.
me. Let's do it again.
I feel
We learn our
obligated to
lessons,
remind you,
mostly.
above the board, Anya's compulsion bullshit.
Yeah, him constantly
We all
changing
know that
tact.
Onya was the special one who just got
He is
into
the
the
odd man
worst
out there
trouble
for sure.
possible at every turn.
All right.
Stanley, I
So
think your character just gets like a sense that Augustine is spouting a little bit bullshit across the city. He's
So
like, oh no.
what do you think of the name Ida? No,
No, you could do a lot of that.
no. Alright, I'm gonna keep trying new ones. Hold on. She has. Do they have paper here I could take from them at this place?
yeah, there's paper.
Yeah, I got
Whatever
paper. I'm
you
just.
need is in the room. They're lavish.
I have paper and pen, I think, or I guess like a pencil, and I'm just writing names down as we go.
Okay.
Off topic, Riva. It's sort of shitty to say that I'm glad you're dead, but
No,
Um,
I'm not very happy I'm dead, but I'm happy that you're here. You know, and which is also a bad thing because you died a long time ago. And I kind of wish you went to
I
the
chose it,
afterlife.
so
Yeah, but
I don't know if I want to. But we'll get into that later. I'm glad you're here,
would it,
and
isn't Issa kind of seem off to you? I know she's an old lady, but like she's kind of even more like
there's
off
something.
put. I don't know.
I wonder if she leveled up her trauma.
I mean, I don't know. It feels very difficult to do at that age.
No, it's Issa. I don't think it would be difficult. With Arlok, think of what we went through. You really think it's that hard for any of us to get more trauma?
It feels like she'd probably like break a hip in the process.
I feel like she might break your hip for saying that.
You could try. I don't think those old bones are really gonna do anything to me though.
With that, we close
know
out the evening with Augustine and Reba having a wonderful discussion on the efficacy and battle ready nature of Issa prior to her death, despite knowing that here she looks like she's in her prime.
I thought you said here you looked old still.
It's whatever she wants to look like.
And it's also really bold for you to not assume that isn't my prime.
Oh, that's fair. Whatever. Shut up.
Because
All right.
that's what I assumed, and then she was like, no, I'm still old. And I was
Okay.
like, oh,
Cool.
okay.
That was my fault then. All right. Yeah. So yeah, she's still old. They're cracking jokes. Icarus, now very full of ego. What with a random Jard of Divinity, just bestowing some sort of knowledge. Rosina learning math and Lord knows what about a religion she's never seen before but seems familiar with. We close out the night as everyone eventually heads back to their own abodes and lays down to rest for the evening, recover from their wounds, and take stock of everything that has happened during their day and prepare for what they're going to do tomorrow. And that is where we will pick things up next time here in 2 weeks, the Friday after next for Red to Black. Thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful evening. Oh, before I forget, yeah, we're back with City of Illumination, baby. We'll be back tomorrow.
Woo!
Oxcord, Tav, whatever the hell her last name is,
Ravenara.
and the guy I wish was still Sterling.
Business.
Bismuth. We'll be
Rude.
here causing absolute chaos tomorrow, so please join us. Have a wonderful rest of the evening, and as always, check out Biscuit Tin RPG for our latest releases and newest events that we'll be headed to. Have a wonderful night, everybody.